Y'all, I don't know what got on my nerves the most. Listening to Kenzie and Dylan talk or Kayda not knowing what the hell a situationship is. I can't. Let's go.
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend, then get it right back, man. She just gotta want all of that, so that's why I bought.
All right, y'all. We are back. We're here for Love Island USA. Okay, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Make sure you guys are liking up the video. Okay, like up the video, subscribe to the channel. All right, hype me up. You know what? At this point, y'all probably don't got no hypes left. But if you do, hype me up. Hype me up. Okay, go ahead and hype your girl up. We're getting closer and closer to 107. All right, so go ahead, continue to subscribe to the channel, child. And y'all can find me on social media as well at JamiThatsMe, and go ahead and follow me over there too. Also, do the people be watching Big Brother? And do the people be getting into Married at First Sight? Let me know in the comments, all right? Let me know in the comments because I think I am gonna we'll see how I do with Big Brother, okay? Because I'm thinking about reviewing that. I'm probably gonna get into Married at First Sight. Y'all let me know. I know a few of y'all have been asking me to get into House of the Dragon, girl. I don't know. We'll see. I'm on episode 2. So let me catch up or whatever. But anywho, y'all, let's go ahead and get into Love Island USA. So Dylan and Kenzie are talking and he wants to, move forward or whatever. He says her getting upset. This what really got me. That man, I don't know if y'all felt the way, but I did. And maybe just because Dylan annoys me, period. It's just something about him that gives extremely performative. And so he says, you getting upset about the issue lets me know that you really care. Her getting upset about the issue lets you know that she really cares. I I, I think you pissing her the hell off, okay? That's why she was upset, because you was getting on her motherfucking nerves. Key, that's what's going on. And it's something about you, Dylan. You want to act like y'all have been in the villa together for like since the beginning. You want to have the tug of war on your relationship like these other couples have had. Like that's supposed to mean something to America, boo, and it just does not. I'm sorry. Okay, it's just no. But anywho, let's keep going. So they get a text, right? This is the text where they learn, oh, the hideaway is open. The hideaway is open, honey. Is y'all gonna send somebody to the hideaway? So Dylan looks at Kenzie and says, should we make our argument? And Kenzie looking at him like, mm, not after you just came at me sideways the way that you did, and you think I'm gonna go into the hideaway with your. She looked at him, she said, no. She shook her head and opened up that phone. I said, I know that's right. Like, you don't get out my mother. If you don't get the boy. So Kenzie, she's like, nah. Next thing you know, Zach is like, oh, me and Bryce should go. And I'm like, either y'all got a phone and y'all know how social media feels about y'all. Because the phones that they do have is very limited. They can't really be on social media like that. So they're not supposed to be privy to things that's going on in the outside world. But he does it so much. It's like, do you do these antics because you know how America is already thinking, or do you genuinely feel that way? I know you guys were holding hands the other day. I know y'all be slapping butts and all of that. Um, like it's not a joke. Kayda, that's who you in competition with. But let's keep going. Melanie and Sincere, they were the ones that were suggested. And I think that Trinity was the one that said Melanie and Sincere, because I'm over here like, wait, y'all want to send Melanie and Sincere? What about the actual girlfriend and boyfriend in the villa, which would be Trinity and Bryce? They don't want to go, especially after she just told Kayda the other day that they was hunching. Y'all ain't got to sneak hunch in the bed no more. Y'all don't want to go over there to the hideaway? Girlfriend, boyfriend. I mean, that would make more sense, right? Ah, okay then. Either way, Trinity and Bryce are talking, and Bryce says that what they have is so special to him, and every time he sees her, he be wanting to be next to her and stuff. They're ready to see what life is going to be like outside of the villa. Of course, they live on different sides of the Americas, right? So he's in LA. I think she's in the VA or whatever. And he says they'll figure it out at the end of the day. So we'll see. I do feel like Trinity won't really be in VA like that. I think she will be in Cali. It's going to be New York, Cali. One of the two. I see her definitely over there in Cali. A lot of the Love Islanders gravitate towards California. So I definitely could see her over in California once this is all said and done. Anaya and Carl are talking, and they're both happy that they got a second shot to be with each other. They're talking about life outside the villa as well. He's in PT school over in Denver, and she talks to him about dating, like long distance, if he's done that before. And that is something that he has done, but he did say that it was something that was very tough to do all at the same time. Okay, so we'll see. Y'all know she's from Georgia, but I don't think that Anaya is in school right now. So she might have that flexibility to actually fly out to Denver and spend some time with him. But how much time he's really going to give her when he's trying to be in PT school, I don't know. So that could potentially strain the relationship, and we just have to see how that's going to work out between them. So good luck. Melanie and Sincere, they talk about their moms because, of course, they over there in the hideaway and they chilling and stuff. And she says her mom would not be mad at him for how he's acting or how he has acted, but she will check him and pretty much tell him get his stuff together. I said, oh, okay, you sure? Well, what would your sister say? Because your sister definitely did not like how Anaya was over there promoting the relationship between you and Sincere. So I wonder how your mama feel if your sister done sat up here and came to the people and was like, hell no. But good luck. All right. So they're chatting about that. Meanwhile, Trinity and Kayda are talking. So Kayda goes over to Trinity all super excited. And she's like, BIT, guess what? She's like, girl, what? She was like, girl, me and Zach is exclusive, honey. And so she said, girl, what the hell is that? What that mean? What does that mean, girl? She says, well, we're dating. Like, we're not like girlfriend, boyfriend, or anything like that. She said, oh, so that's a situationship. Yikes. Kayda says, shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, girl. So Trinity just hugs her, right? And Kayda says that, no, I believe Trinity said she was happy for Kayda or whatever like that. Kayda says that, Zach wants me to meet his family and stuff like that. So things are going good, whatever. Trinity, like, what the hell? Like, I feel like I do think Trinity is one of them friends that's just gonna keep it honest with you. And it is gonna hurt your feelings. I do understand the side that Kayda is coming from because it's something that she's super happy about. And she doesn't want to have to face the reality of the situation, like a lot of people her age. But child, I'm rocking with Trinity on this. Because you look foolish and somebody needs to tell you because ain't nobody else been telling you like what's really going on. Okay. Good luck. Anaya gets a text in the middle of the night. They're gonna do a girls' day, so she has to go and wake up everybody. They wake up, they get ready, they go to the I'm sorry, to the water park. Have a great old time. It was cool. They kick back, they chill. Sincere says that when it came, because he ended up coming out looking for mail. When he's sitting amongst the guys, they're asking about, what all did they do? And he said, oh, we just, had some alone time. We chill. We didn't really do too much. First of all, right out the gate, I feel like Melanie and Sincere were lying. They both was in there hunching. Okay. When I heard don't stop, baby, they was in there hunching. They was in there having sex is what they was doing. So America already know that. Okay. I do understand them not really wanting to say too much, but it was gonna come out anyway. All right. And I can appreciate him not really going in depth about what they really did. You know what I'm saying? And what really sealed the deal for me to know that they did do it was when Melanie was sitting with the ladies. And when they asked her about it, she was like, oh, we just cuddled or whatever the case is. I mean, we did some things. We didn't do that, but we did some things. And she immediately switched the conversation from her to Kenzie. I said, oh, yeah, they did what they need to do. It is what it is. Okay, let's move on. They grown. So Kenzie speaks on Dylan, right? And she says that she wants to move forward with him and all that and whatever, whatever. I'm so tired of hearing both of them talk. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I do not want to see them after Thursday. I would love to not see those individuals after Thursday, but we shall see how it goes. Okay. TT speaks with KC, or at least she speaks on KC and how much she likes him. She says she's never taken anybody home before. She said he'd be the first one that she'll be bringing home. She said she's never had anybody treat her the way that he does and how he makes her feel wanted. So she does get pretty emotional. The girls go over there and they hug her. Now, yesterday when they hugged, I was like, fake love. Tonight when they hug, I say, okay, this gives real, this gives genuine, and I like what I'm seeing here. Okay. Casey tells the guys that he wants to close things off with TT. He feels like she's a real one, for holding him down or whatever. And Zach is like, okay, so when you say you want to close it off, like how you trying to do it? You know what I'm saying? You trying to go from villa to girlfriend, or you trying to go from villa to exclusive and then outside the villa then to girlfriend. I'm just because it's a big thing for me. So I'm just trying to see how big it is for you and how you plan on doing it. Like what you thinking. And so Casey says, listen, I got a history of not fully committing. So at this point, I want to fully commit. And if I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna make her my girlfriend. And they like, okay, so you want to plan some for it? What I love was that Casey already had a good bit of it in his head. He already knew what he wanted to do, which was a scavenger hunt. I am gonna need y'all help, and I need you to do this, you to do this, you to do that. Da, da, da. That's what I need you to do. But I already know how this is gonna go down for me. Love that. Okay. So he feels like TT has shown him everything that he needed to see, and he don't feel like she has anything to prove. So he wants to lock it in. All right. Anaya talks about being happy with Carl and how she plans to go to Denver and Nantucket and wherever else they're gonna go. It sounds like Anaya is committed to actually seeing how far this can go. So we shall see. Kayda tells them that she and Zach are exclusive. She couldn't wait to get that off while everybody was sharing their good news and their happiness, right? And she says, it's not a situationship, bitch. It's not a situationship, right? And Kenzie was like, yeah, I feel like a situationship is strictly fucking. Like, that's what I think. And it's not. That is not what a situationship is. So Trinity and Anaya, they say that, that's like the talking phase or whatever. So I guess y'all are like heavily talking. Holla. Okay. I think that for me, when you say you're exclusively dating somebody, that should be, in my eyes, girlfriend, boyfriend. That's girlfriend, boyfriend. We shouldn't really be on the verge of that. Like, that's what it is. It's girlfriend, boyfriend. And if you're not ready to put a title on that, that is a situationship. And people, and I guess maybe it does depend on who you are and what you think about a situationship. But for me, a situationship is when you're doing girlfriend, boyfriend shit without a title. That's what makes it complicated. And that's where you have that situationship. Zach is over there saying, and just like Kenzie, they're thinking, and Kayda, they're thinking when it's a situationship, you're around here fucking all these different people. That's not necessarily the case. Okay. And really not the case. Because hell, you have people in relationships, marriages, and they still be out here fucking everybody. So no, that's not what that is. Okay. That's not what situationship is. Okay. That's not it. Because you're not just hunching on each other, but you're also going on dates. Okay, when you really don't know where you stand with this person as far as I think he my boyfriend, but I don't know. I mean, I think she my girlfriend, but I ain't really sure. Do we go together? Do we not? Like, girl, that's a situationship. That's a situationship, and they dressed it up as exclusively dating. But honestly, exclusively dating has been around for a long time. However, I feel like as we've gotten older, and these new terms come about, people started to call exclusively dating a situationship, right? But I feel like that's girlfriend boyfriend. You dating and y'all committed to seeing only each other and dating only each other, and nobody else, and fostering a relationship that you got. That's girlfriend boyfriend. What y'all on? That's girlfriend boyfriend. A situationship come before that. That really is the talking phase. You see what I'm saying? But y'all let me know in the comments, y'all. Y'all let me know, cause y'all I don't know what y'all young folk be on. Okay. Period, girl. I guess, honey. Anyway, good luck to the people. Anaya, she says y'all are girlfriend boyfriend. Then this is what she's saying to Anaya, to Kayda, and so Kayda says, yeah, basically, but we got to get to that point. I want to enjoy the outside world first. What does that mean? To enjoy the outside world first. That sounds like to me, y'all say y'all gonna be focused on each other, but you're really trying to see what fine shit is over there in your DMs. That's what it sounds like to me. And I just feel like you're playing yourself yet again, but good luck. So Kayda tells Kenzie she's annoyed. She's annoyed that she told the ladies that she was exclusive, and they responded to her by saying this is a situationship, right? So Kayda tells Zach about it again because she said it the night before. Now she's saying it again. So it really bothers her, right? So, Zach, when they're talking about it, they both believe that a situationship is something that's messy, and it does not have to be messy at all. It just could be unclear. And I think when they say messy, they think of sleeping around, and that's not the case. What's messy is not putting a title on it, but having certain expectations of a girlfriend or boyfriend, but don't want to refer to that person as that. Okay. But anywho, good luck to the people. All right. I do hate. So now we're getting closer to the time that Casey is getting ready to, ask TT to be his girlfriend. And I was like, damn, I hate that Corbin's not in the villa. I really hate that Corbin is not in the villa to help him prepare for this scavenger hunt, because I think Corbin probably would have helped make it even more bigger than what it was. And then having Parmita there, it would have been just too bomb. It would have been really bomb. Either way, Kenzie apologizes to Dylan. She wants him to believe her and says that she hasn't acted this way with anyone in here. Kenzie, why you be forgetting that the cameras are around? Why do you move to the side, girl? I'm just sick of her. Casey is ready to make this happen, right? He tell TT he got to go to the bathroom or whatever the case is. And he says he's ready. He don't have a speech. He just gonna speak from his heart. It's gonna be what it is, right? So while he's getting ready and he's giving the guys the head nod, Kayda over here talking to Zach, and she's like, I don't want to be antisocial. So she's getting really emotional and says that she's so happy for everybody else, and she feels a way that the girls don't seem to be happy for her. And Zach is like, fuck what they think. It's about us. Like, F what they think. And I'm like, really, Katie, you should be mad at him that he proposed an idea to you. You went along with it. And then now that everybody else ain't biting off of it, you're feeling away. And it also leaves me to believe that you don't feel secure in whatever connection you and Zach got going on, honestly, because you are that worried about how your friends feel about it. It just makes me feel like you don't feel that secure. Either you don't feel secure in the relationship, or you don't feel secure in that title within itself. So it's something off about that. And I think the problem and the issue should be with him versus with the girls for real. But Zach says that he isn't going to make anyone his girlfriend for the sake of just doing it, because that's a big deal to him. And I'm like, okay, so is sex also not a big deal? Because it should be. That's a big deal too. But you did it. Okay, so Kayda says that it hurts, especially from Trinity. It should hurt from him that he spent enough time with you in this villa. So at this point, since you want to talk about since day 3 that you guys have been together, I would think at this point he knows whether he wants to make you his girlfriend. Just like they say, oh, a man knows when he wants to make you his wife. However many months into it. Girl, he know if he wants you to be his girlfriend or not. But I got okay. Either way, that's what's going on. She over there talking about Trinity being on her high horse. And I'm like, she's not on a high horse at all. She's being real with you and you really can't take it. So Anaya, Trinity, and Melanie are sitting around, and Trinity says, that's my girl, but it's a situationship. So Melanie says, yeah, I don't get that stuff. I don't really be understanding all that exclusive stuff. I don't really get that. So Trinity says, maybe it's the long distance thing. Maybe that's why they did it. And Naya and Mel are like, well, don't say anything. And I agree. If it's because y'all are long distance, don't even ask to be exclusive. Like, what? Okay. So Trinity says the situationship is just doing relationship shit with no title. And I say exactly. Exactly. She says it's a Trinity says it's a long talking stage. She ain't lying. Y'all been talking the whole time y'all been in here. You should know whether she possessed the qualities that you would want her to have to be your girlfriend or whatever, and vice versa. So Trinity says what works for them, it's just gonna work for them. But I still think she in a situationship, and you're not wrong. So Kayda feels like it's rude to keep saying it's a situationship when I tell you that it's not. I can understand that as well. I can understand that hurting her feelings because she really cares about about Zach. She really cares about Zach. She wants this to really be something. And your friend is telling you the reality of the situation. You just don't want to hear it. So I mean, I understand how it may feel like it's rude to you, but I also get where Trinity coming from. I'm just on her side with this. Either way, it's time to put Casey's plan into play. Okay. So he gets up like he going to the restroom. Then you get Carl and Dylan to grab TT like they about to go and do this photo booth thing. And at first it was a little awkward, but then I said I don't think it's gonna give it away yet because she may be thinking they're doing some type of challenge. Right. So she goes and gets ready to go to the photo booth. They go from the photo booth to the kitchen to the fire pit to the sand or the swing in the sand to the dock. I thought they was going to take her to say less where he was, but they took her to the dock. And you know what? I think that was even nicer. So Casey finally comes out okay, onto the dock. He gives her a speech or whatever the case is about him not typically being a guy that, has committed in the past, and this is something that he wants to do. He asked her to be his girlfriend. And she, of course, says yes. She starts crying and stuff. And somebody said, "Oh, she's crying." And Kayda's like, "Of course she is. And then they hug it out. Kayda's like, "Well, what did he ask?" And she says, "I'm a girlfriend." And I said, "Baby, I know Kayda pissed the fuck off. Kayda, y'all was just in the bottom the other day. And you was over here feeling away like, damn, how do these other couples, okay, how are these other couples that haven't been together as long as we haven't and have had more issues than we've had, how do they keep being in the top and we in the bottom?" And now here it is, another couple that hasn't been together as long as y'all got more chemistry than y'all, and they are officially girlfriend boyfriend. I'm sure they got you feeling away. And when they panned the camera earlier in the episode to Zach, and Zach said, "I'm not gonna make somebody my girlfriend just for the sake of making her my girlfriend or whatever." When they did that, it was kind of making me question, was Kayda trying to convince him to change the title or something? I don't know. It was something that was off about that. But either way, TT and Casey are locked in. They are officially a girlfriend and boyfriend. She said this is her first real boyfriend. He said he's honored. And let me say, I thought it was super cute. I thought that shit was cute as hell. I thought it was very thoughtful. And I feel like that was the most thoughtful girlfriend boyfriend proposal out of anybody in the damn villa. I think Bryce and Trinity just had like a sit down, one on one chat, whatever. He asked her to be the girlfriend, whatever. But I like the fact that Casey actually put thought and effort into it. Even if it was pictures here, he kind of made it special for Tierra. And I like that. So shout out to them. Good job, guys. It's time to vote. Y'all leave down in the comments below who y'all decided to vote for, honey. Let your girl know who you voting for, who your top four is, your final four, as the season is coming to a close. That's all that I got. I'm Jami. That's me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend